Hey, what's up, traders? Watch this video here for Monday, September 27th. And starting off with the SPY, we gapped down on Friday, but ended up with a fairly strong close. So we're showing some great strength ever since that big gap down, which was, I guess, Monday, right? A couple highlights from the day. Let me see here. I call it GREE. We had it on Bounce Watch. How many times in the watch list videos have you seen me say I want an afternoon breakout? Well, we didn't really get that. We got a morning breakout, but the nice thing about it was it met one of my favorite parameters. And again, I'll go back to the daily. I'll take Friday's candle out of it. And you'll notice that it closed at 25.40. Look where it opened. It opened down here at 24.13. And I think I mentioned that in the pre-market talking about what I was watching for the day, that this was a potential gap down bounce play setup, along with a couple others. And so after about 25 minutes, this thing had topped out at 25 bucks even. I thought I took a screenshot, but I don't have it in front of me. Okay, I just did a quick dig and found it. Let me slide this up here. That's the screenshot from chat for those of you that weren't there on Friday. I put out GREE topped at 25. I'll try it over that anytime today. And that was at 10:12 in the morning. So that was about, what, 42 minutes into the session. And it was probably somewhere right about here when I did that post. And it happened quicker than I thought, right? It went up and broke 25. I was hoping for an afternoon high day break. But this goes to show you when I get the gap down, I don't have to have that afternoon high of day break. So anyway, it got long there. And within a couple minutes, it went up a couple bucks and ended up being a really nice trade. And a whole bunch of people, I think, got that. So there's that one. Sava, S-A-V-A. I got to give props to Alan H. In the highlight page, I called him our 15s buy zone expert. He really, really watches for those 15s buy zone. And he actually put out that he was watching Sava, S-A-V-A, for a flush below, when it probably looked about like this. He put in the chat room, he was looking for a flush below 60.50 in the 15s buy zone. Look what happens. The lowest it got was 60.34. So the worst case, you were like 14 cents underwater if you bought it at 60.49, something like that anyway, and ended up going up huge from there before rolling over at the end of the day. So from his 60.40 area is what I put on the results page. It went to 66.88, so $6.28 move on about 40 cents risk. So he is, if he's not on your hot script in chat, he should be. He's really good at finding those. And then we had a late day one, BBIG. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sohail? I don't know. Sohail in chat. Somewhere right around here, wrote in chat BBIG volume spike, right? So I saw the little volume spike. I noticed the earlier high of day was 60.23. And so my thinking is, and then I went back and did my thing where I looking for afternoon breakouts. And I went back so many, I think I went all the way back to when it was trading up over 9 maybe. No. Let me go to 15s and show you this. So ever since it hit 12 something, let's see, here's the next day. All right, after that, there's the early high. See these vertical lines? That's the early high of day. After that hit 12.50, the next day it had an afternoon break. But since then, it never broke its early high. The next day, and put in its high the following day there, still in the morning. And so, after that volume spike, I started looking around. I thought, you know what? This will be the first afternoon high of day break since it was up around 12 bucks. It was, it's been cut in half since then, and it certainly was a recent high flyer. Anyway, I took a screenshot of my actual post in chat for those that weren't there again. BBIG over high of day would be the first afternoon high of day break since it was over 12 bucks. I didn't have it on the bounce play list, but it fits the profile. And then also parentheses, I wrote former high flyer. And then that was at 23 after. So I don't know, about 12, 13 minutes later, I gave the over 620 idea because you can't see it's behind the arrow, but it put in a lower high at 20. The early high was 23, and there was a clean seller on the tape at 20. So I just revised it to I like the 20 break, and I rang the bell for those that weren't paying attention. I think this is the one Wayne said he'd been out all afternoon, walked back into his office and saw my post with the bell and everything, and he was able to jump on that too. So anyway, that was kind of cool. I didn't even put it on the results page, but it was a neat little way to end the week, the 620 break. and ended up going pretty darn quickly to 662. All right, anyway, enough highlights from Friday. Let me go into what I'm watching for Monday. HLBZ, I'm just going to put it back on Bounce Watch. It made some crazy moves, like 4 days in a row down now. Fairly narrow range compared to the last few days. So that goes on Bounce Watch. TMC, right back on Bounce Watch. Just another red day, no trigger in it. On Friday, NNVC, back on Bounce Watch. Had the big rip, and then you got, I think, 3 days in a row now where it didn't break its early high. You know, that's what I look for in the afternoon. TOST, it's only been trading for 3 days, but I think it's worth having on Bounce Watch. Recent IPO. ARQQ is a recent high flyer, and then you got a couple nasty red days right into that buy zone, so I think that one's worth watching for a bounce. SPIR, same thing, crazy mover, and this one's pretty whippy, so be careful if you trade it. But it had a move from basically 11 to over 19, and now you got a couple days lower on declining volume. Hit the 8-day on Friday. Pretty good setup for a potential bounce. Again, only with a proper A+ setup on an intraday basis. So that's SPR. GREE. We got that bounce on Friday. Nice trade in it. You know, maybe this green candle is going to mark the bottom. You know, it was 60. I don't know, 7 days ago, and now we finally have the gap down in the green day. So I'm gonna look for a follow through of that bounce tomorrow. ATER. By the way, this is another one I mentioned late today. Didn't make the highlight reel, but I mentioned that it was getting volume right here, and I think I said with a late day high of day break, which should have been over 1280. This might get some movement because it's a recent high flyer, and it broke 1280 and went pretty quickly to 1350. So I know I got a lot of thank yous for that. I didn't get in that trade, but I'm super happy for anyone that did. AMHC, just stupid strong. I don't know how else to put it. Had that big day on Thursday, gap down on Friday, and then kind of a bullish engulfing day. So we're going to keep our eyes on that one. Another one that's really, really whippy, so be careful with it. FLGC, big volume and a strong close. We'll see if it continues that on Monday. BBIG, I just mentioned, maybe this was the bottom of this pullback, so we're going to watch that one again. And then lastly, MRIN, which gapped up, sold off, then gapped down, and worked its way back up and took out the highs of the gap up day, which would have been Wednesday, before settling slightly below Wednesday's high. Definitely very, very strong, so I want to watch that one too. And we'll look for some other gappers in the pre-market. That's it for me. I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.